So as mentioned in the previous video, we're going to look at the postcode version this time. This is one of the best APIs going as far as I'm concerned. It's my favourite one. It produces information that you can springboard into other places, and the nice part about it is it can take an address like 10 Downing Street, or it can take the postcode. So I'm going to run the program now, but instead of giving it the actual address, I'm just going to give the postcode S1A2AA. So I'm not even going to change the program, I'm just going to rerun it. So run the program again. Please enter an address. I'm going to type in SW1A2AA, and it's happy and it's fine, apart from the fact that Python keeps doing that. Oh, and we've got a problem. Now, the problem is because the data that's returned is a little bit different to the API call when we sent 10 Downing Street. If I can just explain that quickly, what happened when we sent the address, we only had one piece of information for it. However, if you give it a postcode, there is more than one house or one location covered by that postcode, and so we get a different set of results. And what I would like to do is to be able to type that in. Now, I could just copy this and put that into a new browser window, and instead of type in 10 Downing Street, type in, what was the address again? SW1A 2AA. Press enter, and as you can see, we get the same sort of JSON code back with the same sort of data. However, if I copy that and put that into the formatter and validator, and process it, we see we've got the data coming back. The information is a little bit different. It starts off with the results, then address components, and then the postcode, which we didn't have in the previous version. It was laid out differently. So that's why we got the error message, is because the data that came back is just in a little bit of a different layout. We've still got just the one item, which I expected a few more. So if we go through what we did, so we went to results, and then if we take a look, we've got results, and then we want the 0th item of the results, which is this one. Then we want to go to address components, but this time address components does not contain 7 items in the array. Okay, if I shrink it down, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just 6 items in the array. So that's why my program sort of crashed at that point, okay, because I was asking for the 7th. If I change that value there for the correct value, then I will get the correct information that I want. Do I want the postcode? I don't, because I put that in. Do I want the neighbourhood? I could do. Actually, I really want the address, if I can find an address with it. And that's not in this array at all. That is just under formatted address. But notice it's not 10 Downing Street, it's just Westminster, London, because there are more than one place with it. So instead of doing address components with this one, really I just need to find the formatted address, which is what we did earlier. So if I just type formatted address there and lose all of that afterwards, that's fine. So if I now run my program again, type in the same SW1A 2AA, it's happy and returns Westminster, London, but it doesn't give me the actual house. But that's not bad. What I've got so far is I've got a method of finding a postcode from an address, and I've got a method of finding an address basically from a postcode. So we're making progress. But what I want you to notice is that it's a little bit different. So if I was to use these two forms, I would probably need two different function calls to make it work.